There are different modalities, there are different professionals that can help you in the different aspects of your life. You can't do it on your own. Googling things isn't the only way to, or isn't the best way, I should say, isn't the best way to achieve your goals. Googling things will help you learn a few things, but it will still be a lot of trial and error, especially if you've got no experience in solving that specific problem you're trying to solve, right? I'm a naturopath, iridologist, and herbalist, and an entrepreneur. Today, my mom sent me this video, and the video said something about how herbal teas or herbs as tea isn't as helpful all the time, and it could actually be quite dangerous. And I went through the material, and I sent her a message, and I said, "Yep, that's why you need to learn more about it. That's why." Actually, I said, as in tea form, because there were specific herbs that were mentioned there. In tea form, those herbs can't impact you negatively. And that's the truth. A lot of these people that write materials and say, "Oh, wow, you know, there's this toxin in, for example, St. John's wort or in raspberry leaves that not everyone can use." That's true. That's why you need to understand more about it. And it's better if you're taking herbs based on what you've been recommended, taking into account what your body needs, right? All these herbs have to be taken a certain way. When you take herbs as tea, you can't put a huge amount of herb in it to create tea, right? You're only going to be using at the most a handful of herbs. And when you make tea, you don't use just one herb. You use a mixture of herbs, which means that at the very least, or at the very most, you'd probably have, 2 fingers of that specific herb to add into the mix. When you're looking at it that way, it's not a huge amount. It's not going to impact you negatively unless the herb itself is toxic. Okay, so there are toxic herbs. I've got a toxic herb in my garden, and it's called Patterson's curse. There's another name for it. I've forgotten. Salvation Jane. So it's known by 2 names. Patterson's curse is actually toxic to a lot of our pets, and it's toxic to us as well. In fact, when you touch Patterson's curse, it can cause allergic reactions on your skin. That being said, at a very, very, very small dose, homeopathic preparations of Patterson's curse is actually used to help people with liver issues. So although it can cause liver damage, it also is a cure for liver issues. But you need to know what you're doing. So again, in that case, a mentor is necessary to actually teach you what this herb does.